Build fluency with people, not alone. I want you to really hear that, not just read it on the screen. Hear it. Because if there's one thing that separates the people who become fluent from the people who stay stuck for years, it's this. The ones who become fluent stop trying to do it alone. They find people, they build connections, they practice in the real world with real humans in real conversations. And the ones who stay stuck, they keep doing what feels safe. They stay in their room. They practice with apps. They talk to themselves and they wonder why nothing changes. This module is about changing that completely. By the end of this lesson, you're going to understand exactly why people learning alone never reach fluency. And you're going to have a clear, simple system to start building your English with real people starting today. Let's go. Let me ask you something. Can you understand English? Yes, you are watching this video right now and you understand every word I'm saying. So clearly you can understand English. Can you speak? Technically, yes. You can put sentences together, you know words, you know grammar, you have studied it. If someone gave you time and no pressure, you could probably write a pretty good paragraph in English. But here's what happens when you actually have to speak. In real time, with a real person, with no preparation, no script, no time to think. You freeze. The words that you know, they disappear. Your mind goes blank, and instead of just speaking, you start translating. You think of what you want to say in your native language, then you try to convert it to English. And by the time you find the words, the moment is gone. If that's you, I want you to know something. You are not broken. You are not bad at English. And you are absolutely not alone. This is the most common problem among no native speakers. A lot of people can understand English and even speak it. But when the moment comes, they freeze. And the reason they freeze is something very specific. Something we are going to fix today. So what is causing the freeze? What is actually happening in your brain when you try to speak and the words won't come? Translation. And you are translating from your native language into English in real time, while also trying to listen, understand, respond, sound confident, and not make any mistakes. That's 5 things at once. And it's too much. No human brain can do all of that at the same time without slowing down or shutting down. Think about it like this. Imagine you have a Rubik's Cube. It's already solved, clean, ordered, perfect. That's your thought in your native language. Clear, ready, yours. Now, imagine you have to mix that Rubik's Cube up, scramble it completely, and then solve it again, but in a different color order, under time pressure, while someone is waiting for your answer. That is exactly what translation feels like. You take a perfectly clear thought, scramble it to your native language, try to resemble it in English, and then push it out of your mouth, all in about 2 seconds. And then people wonder why they freeze. That's not freezing. That's your brain trying to solve a Rubik's Cube on purpose at lightning speed, while someone is waiting, while someone is watching. The solution is not to get faster at translating. The solution is to stop translating altogether. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. What happens if you never fix the translation problem? Forever. That word on the screen. That's the answer. I'm not being dramatic. Think about the people you know who have been studying English for 5, 7, 10 years, and they still freeze. They still translate. They still feel like their English is not good enough. That is not a coincidence. That is what happens when you keep using a method that was never designed to fix translation. You get stuck for years, sometimes for decades. Because here's what nobody tells you. Translation doesn't fade on its own with time. It doesn't get better just because you study more. It does not disappear because you learned more vocabulary. That is why school did not make you fluent. You were translating words from your native language the whole damn time. The only thing that makes translation go away is the one thing most people never do enough of: speaking with real people in real conversations where there's no time to translate. Your brain's incredibly efficient. It will keep using the shortcut of translation for as long as you let it. The only way to force it to stop is to put it in situations where the shortcut doesn't work anymore, where the conversation is moving too fast, where another human is waiting for your response, where translation is simply too slow. That's the environment we are going to build for you, starting in this module, starting today. So, why do we translate? Why hasn't it gone away even after all this time studying? It's pretty simple, and it's not your fault. You were put in a box, or even an echo chamber where you could only hear yourself speak. Think about how you started learning English. You sat in a classroom, or you opened an app on your phone, or you studied in your room by yourself. And in all of those situations, you were alone. Or you were with other people who also didn't speak English well. You were in an echo chamber where the only English voice you heard was your own. And you were doing it alone, in your room, with yourself. Nobody put you in a real English environment. Nobody threw you into conversations where you had to think fast. Nobody forced your brain to stop using the translation shortcut because there was no time for it. And so your brain kept doing what brains always do. It took the path of least resistance. It kept translating because translating was safe. Translating felt controllable. Translating meant you could check your answer before you said it out loud. The problem is that real conversations don't give you time to check your answers. Real conversations move fast, and the only way to keep up with them is to stop translating. You were not taught how to do that until now. And so you sit there studying, practicing alone, and then you have a real conversation in English, and it doesn't go well. And you start asking yourself questions. Why do I still translate? I've been studying for years. Why is this still happening? Why am I not confident? I know this language. I've studied it. Why does my confidence disappear the second someone is actually listening? Why am I so tired and scared of English? I used to love learning it. Now every conversation feels like a test I might fail. These questions are not signs that something is wrong with you. They are signs that you have been using the wrong method. A method that was never designed to make you fluent, just to make you better at studying. And the good news, and I mean really good news, is that once you understand why this happens, fixing it, it's actually straightforward. Not easy, but straightforward. There's a clear path, and you're about to walk it. But first, I need to show you exactly where the problem comes from. Because until you see the root cause clearly, you cannot fix it. So let's go there. Here's the hard truth, and I say this with complete respect and care for you. You put yourself in a box. You literally put yourself in a box. You practiced and practiced and practiced. Grammar exercises, vocabulary lists, listening to podcasts, and all of that practice taught you things. It gave you knowledge. It gave you grammar and new words. That's real. That counts, of course. But here's what all of that practice could not give you: the ability to speak naturally with a real person who says something unexpected. Because speaking in the real world is completely different from speaking in a box. It's unpredictable. It's fast. It's full of interruptions. It's slang and topics that jump around and moments where you have to respond without any preparation at all. Practicing alone taught you how to speak in a box, a controlled, safe, predictable box where nothing surprised you. And then you stepped outside the box into a real conversation and everything felt different, harder, faster, scarier. And you thought, why? can't I do this? You couldn't do it because you had never actually practiced it. You had practiced something that looked like it, but wasn't. And that gap between the box and the real world is actually what we are going to close in this module. Let me tell you about the greatest communicator who ever lived, Socrates. This man lived in Athens over 2,000 years ago, and he became one of the most influential speakers, thinkers, and communicators in all of human history. His ideas shaped philosophy, science, democracy, and how we think about thinking itself. 2,000 years later, we still study what he said. And here's what I want you to notice about how he did it. He did not sit alone in a room studying it. He did not practice his speaking by talking to himself in the mirror. He did not use flashcards. He walked through the streets of Athens every single day, talking to people. He found people in the marketplace, in the gymnasium, on street corners, and he engaged them. He asked questions. He debated. He discussed ideas. He challenged people's thinking and let them challenge his. Every conversation was a practice session. Every debate was a feedback session. Every question someone threw back at him made him sharper, clearer, better. That's how he became one of the greatest speakers in the world. Not by studying alone, by speaking with people every single day. And that is exactly what we're going to set you up to do. Now, here's what I love about Socrates. When he started, he wasn't fluent either. He was not born a great speaker. He was not some naturally gifted communicator who just opened his mouth and amazed everyone. He started from scratch, just like you. But he had two things that most people don't have. And these two things made all of the difference. Number one, an ability to speak. He wasn't born fluent, but he decided to speak anyway. Before he was ready, before he was perfect, he opened his mouth and put his ideas out into the world, even when he was not sure how they would land. He wasn't fluent in the beginning, but he started. And starting is everything. Number two, community. People around him. He was not sitting in a small box practicing with himself. He was walking through Athens, surrounded by real people, philosophers, politicians, students, and he was speaking with all of them. He was speaking with real people, not sitting in a small box. That's it. Those are the two ingredients: the ability to start speaking, even imperfectly, and a community of real people to practice with. You already have ingredient one. This community is ingredient two. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to use it. And that is exactly why I created this community. I didn't create it just to have a place where people watch videos and repost this. I created it so that you could have the same opportunity Socrates had. Think about what Socrates had that most English learners don't. He had people. He had a city full of real humans who would talk to him, challenge him, push back on his ideas, make him think faster and speak better. That is what this community is. It's your Athens. It's your marketplace. It's the place where you find real people who want to practice just like you. People from different countries, different backgrounds, different levels, all working toward the same goal. You can find friends here. You can find practice partners. You can team up with someone who's at your level or a little above it. You can debate ideas. You can discuss things that interests you. You can create something together. You can do all of the things Socrates did, but from wherever you are in the world, at whatever time works for you. There's so many ways to practice with other people in this community. I'm gonna show you all of them, and then I'm gonna give you a complete system, a simple step-by-step system for how to go from stranger to speaking partner. Because that's the gap most people cannot cross. They know they should talk to people, but they don't know how to actually start. We are going to fix that right now. Okay, so you now understand the problem. You understand why you freeze, why you translate, Why studying alone has never been enough. Now, I'm gonna show you the solution. Not a vague idea, not a motivation speech. A concrete, step by step system that tells you exactly what to do, starting from the moment you close this video. And here's what I love about this system: it's simple enough that you can start today, like in the next 30 minutes. Not when you feel ready, not after you study more. Today. Because here's what I've seen happen with almost everyone who joins a community like this. They join, they look around, they read some posts, they maybe like a few things, and then they wait. They wait to feel confident enough to message someone. They wait for the right moment to get on a call. And the right moment never comes. The system I'm about to show you removes the waiting. It gives you a clear first step, a clear second step, and a clear third step. So there's no room for, I don't know what to do. You know exactly what to do. It's called the CCC system. And it is the simplest, most effective method I have found for going from a complete stranger in this community to someone you actually speak English with, laugh with, practice with, and grow with. 3 letters, 3 steps. Let me break each one down. The CCC system. 3 steps that take you from never having spoken to anyone in this community to having a real English conversation with a real person. C number 1, comment. You write a comment on a post. That's step 1. Someone wrote something in the community. You read it. You think about it. You write what you think. Simple. Low stakes. No one is listening to your voice. You have time to think. You can edit before you post. This is your entry point. C number 2, chat. You send a direct message to the person you connected with in the comments. You start a conversation. You express genuine interest. You keep it human. And then, here's the key. You invite them to a video call. C number 3, call. You get on a 10-minute call with that person. No script, no preparation, just show up and speak. That is where the translation starts to break down. That is where your brain starts to rewire. That is where real fluency begins. Comment, chat, call. 3 steps. And I'm gonna go deep on each one so you know exactly what to do and what to say. Let's start with comment, because this is where everything begins, and most people overthink it. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what you do. Go to the community, find a post that interests you, read it, and then write a comment. Write what you actually think. Not a perfect comment, not a long essay, not something you spend an hour crafting. Just 2 to 3 sentences of what you honestly think about what you just read. You can agree with that person. You can share a related experience. You can ask a question. You can say what the post made you think about. You can even disagree respectfully. The point is just to write something real, something that came from you. You can also write a post instead of a comment. Look at what others are doing and come up with a unique post. And here's something I want you to remember. Nobody in this community is waiting for you to respond in 3 seconds. You are not in a live conversation right now. You can think, you can take your time, you can write, read it back, edit, and then post it. That's completely fine. But, and this is critical, keep it high quality. 2 or 3 genuine, thoughtful sentences are worth 10 times more than a lazy one-word reply. When you write something real, people want to respond. They want to connect with you. And that connection is what leads to the next step. Oh, and one more thing. Do not use AI to write your comments. I mean it. The whole point of commenting is to practice your English and to express your real thoughts. If AI writes it, you get 0 practice, and it doesn't look like the comment or the post came from you. Write it yourself, even if it's not perfect. Especially if it's not perfect. That's the whole point. Okay, you wrote a great comment. Someone responded to you. Or maybe you responded to them and the exchange felt natural. Now you send them a direct message, a chat. And I know what just happened in your brain. Send them a message? I don't know this person. What do I even say? What if they don't respond? What if it's weird? Let me stop you right there. They joined this community for the exact same reason you did. They want to practice their English. They want to connect with people. They want someone to talk to. So when you send them a message, you are not being weird. You are being exactly what this community is for. Keep the message light and human. Something like, hey, I'm also working on my fluency. Where are you from? Or, hey, I really liked what you said in that post. I'm also working on my fluency. Where are you from? That's it. Simple, genuine, human, not formal, not stiff. Just like you would talk to someone you just met and found interesting. And then, this is the key move. Invite them to a video call. Something like, by the way, do you want to connect on a quick call? I'm trying to practice speaking with more people. Done. That's the whole chat. You're not asking them to marry you. You're not asking for anything big. Just 10 minutes. A quick call to practice. That's it. And remember, they joined for the exact same reason you did. They want someone to talk to as well. Most people will say yes because most people in this community are looking for exactly what you are offering. And now we get to the part that changes everything, the call. You have commented, you've chatted, and now you are about to get on a 10-minute video call with a real person. A real human being who is going to speak English with you in real time, with no script, no preparation, no safety net. And I want you to understand what is about to happen in that call. Your brain is about to be forced to stop translating because there's no time, because the person is right there waiting for your response, because you cannot pause, Google the translation, and come back because it's real and it's live and your brain has to figure it out on the fly. And here's what's beautiful about that. Your brain can figure it out. It's been studying English for months or even years. It has everything it needs. It just needs to be pushed into a situation where it has no choice but to use what it knows directly without the translation step. The call does that. Every single call does that. Here's how to run it. Schedule it for 15 minutes. That's all. No preparation needed, no script, no topics prepared in advance. Just show up and speak. Talk about where you're from, what you do, why you're learning English. Ask them the same questions. It doesn't matter what you talk about. What matters is that you are talking. And at the end, keep it short. Be polite. Say, nice to meet you. End the call. That's it. Boom, you just had a real English conversation with a real person. And the translation in your head got a little weaker. And it will keep getting weaker every single call until one day you realize it's gone. That's what the call does. That's why nothing else compares to it. And honestly, that's it. I know it sounds too simple, but simple is good. Simple is something you can actually do. It's so simple. Just be yourself. Be curious. Show up. Because here's what happens when you do this consistently. When you comment on someone's post and they reply, when you send that message and they respond, when you get on that call and you both laugh about making the same mistake in English, you stop being a person who is trying to learn a language alone. You become part of something, and that changes everything about how English feels. Write, connect, speak. And if you do this consistently, if you comment, chat, and call with new people on a regular basis, something incredible will happen. You will build an English social circle, a real one. People you actually know, people you look forward to talking to, people who are on the same journey as you and understand exactly what you're going through. And with that social circle, with those real conversations, those real connections, that real practice, you will get something that no app, no textbook, no classroom has ever given you: real world fluency and real confidence. Not the kind of confidence that comes from studying more, the kind that comes from doing it, from having a conversation and surviving it, from realizing, oh, I can do this, I actually can. That realization changes everything. And the CCC system is how you get there. All right, I'm gonna give you 2 action steps, okay? And I need you to hear me when I say this. These 2 steps are not optional extras, they are the whole point of this module. You can watch every video in this course, understand everything I say, and still not improve your English if you don't actually practice with real people. Knowledge without action is just information, and information doesn't make you fluent. Action does. So these 2 action steps, they are very important. Complete them. Trust me, they will help you more than you can imagine right now. I'm gonna show you exactly what they are on the next slides, but I want you to go into them with the right mindset. Don't think about being perfect. Don't think about what to say. Don't think about whether your English is good enough. Your English is good enough. It was always good enough. You have just been waiting for a reason to use it. This is your reason. Let's go. Action step number 1. Set up your profile ring. There's a link below this video that will take you to where you can do this. Click it, set it up. It takes about 2 minutes. And here's why this matters more than it sounds. Your profile ring is how people see you in this community. It's your first impression before you have even said a word. And when you have a profile ring, the special ring that members of this community have, people know who you are. They know you are here. They know you are someone who takes this seriously. This will help you build your network. It will signal that you are one of the high achievers. And here's the deeper reason. When you set up your profile, you are doing something psychological. You are changing your identity, even a little bit. You are saying, I'm someone who achieves fluency, not someone who tries to learn English, someone who achieves it. Look at the other profiles in the community. Look at people who have been here and made progress. You want to be one of them. The profile ring is the first step toward becoming one of them. Set it up right now before you do anything else. Action step number 2. And this one is the one that is going to change your English faster than anything else. Here's what I need you to do. Go to the community, find 5 posts, read them, and write a genuine comment under each one. Not 5 words, real sentences, real thoughts. What do you actually think about what you read? That's 5 comments. Then pick at least one person from those conversations, someone whose comment you liked it, someone who responded to you, someone who seemed interesting, and follow the CCC system. Comment, done, you already did that. Chat, send them a message, invite them to a call, and call, get on a 15-minute call with that one person. That's it. 5 comments, 1 call. And don't worry, no one is gonna eat you, okay? I know the call feels like the scary part. That's normal. That is exactly how it's supposed to feel before you do it. And that feeling, the anxiety right before you start, that is the feeling of growth. That is your brain being pushed outside of its comfort box. That is the moment right before things start to change. And here's something I need you to understand. Nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody in this community is waiting to criticize your English or make you feel bad. They joined this community for the exact same reason you did. They want someone to practice with. They are just as nervous as you. When you reach out, you are doing both of you a favor. Because in English Achievers, everyone is on the same path. 5 comments, 1 call, do it today, right after this video. Your 3 tasks before Module 4. I will say them clearly. 1. Set up your profile ring. The link is below. 2 minutes, do it now. 2. write 5 comments under different posts in the community. Real comments, real thoughts, your words, not AI, not copied, yours. 3. Get on at least one call. Follow the CCC system: comment, chat, invite, call. 15 minutes, no preparation, just show up and speak. Only when you've done all 3, watch Module 4. And I mean that seriously, okay? Not because I want to slow you down, but because Module 4 is going to teach you how to structure your daily practice and make progress fast. And every single thing in that module will hit 10 times harder if you have already had a real conversation in this community before you watch it. Experience first, then the lesson. That's how real learning works. But before you close this video, I want to say something, just one more thing. I know that for a lot of people watching this, the idea of reaching out to a stranger and getting on a call feels uncomfortable, maybe even a little scary. And I want you to know that I see that. I felt that too, for a long time. But here's what I've learned about coaching hundreds of people through the exact moment. The person you are going to call is not a stranger waiting to judge you. They are someone exactly like you, sitting somewhere in the world, wanting to practice their English, hoping someone will reach out first. When you send that message, you are not bothering them. You are the answer to something they've been waiting for. So go be that for someone today. Set your profile, write your comments, make the call, build your fluency with people, not alone. I will see you in Module 4.